Yeah, you made it back in time for lunch too.
Well, there's one thing about you. You might be gone all day, but you'll always make it back for mealtime.
Oh, you got that right. So how'd you make out?
Well, what a pile of poop I got myself into today.
No.
Well, we had appointments booked, and I had to cancel them.
Cancel 'em.
Because a good customer of ours who owns a contracting company got a screening plant that went down.
That was an emergency.
Yeah, well, we had put a rad in it about a month ago.
Yeah, it must be that for sure.
It's got a Perkins diesel in it. So anyway, it came in yesterday, said, oh no, you're never going to believe it. I said, what? So he came in with a pile of work, 3 or 4 things on the list. One including the backhoe tires out there that he got a flat on. He said, we got a leak, radiator leak. Or he said, or we got coolant coming out of the screening plant. I said, geez, that's odd.
Yeah, your mind automatically wanders to that.
Yeah, so I said, well, we kind of used an aftermarket rad because the original rad in it had plastic tanks and aluminum core. And I'm not a real fan of that stuff, so especially on something commercial like that. So I said, well, let's get one made, copper tanks, copper cores, right?
Yep.
And it was like $700-800 cheaper than the OEM rad. Of course, now when he says this, I'm thinking maybe I advised him wrong.
Yeah, that's
Shouldn't
right.
have did this, you know, and you know, but he, you know, he appreciated the fact that we could get him a better price. And so anyway, and plus we could get it faster. The OEM one was 3 weeks away, whereas this one was 10 days away,
Well,
7 to
it
10.
was peak season too.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, I go up this morning, load up Old Blue, full of the tools. This thing is not easy to get at when it comes to the rad, and it's in a very remote place. You know what I do? I think when I go back this time, I'll take some dash cam footage. I'll attach it to this video just to show people exactly where it's got to go, where I had to go to do it. And of course, Old Blue out there, he's not happy because the socks are dirty.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, very temperamental. And it was foggy when we left. And
It was.
so,
Wow, it was warm. I don't know what the temperature
and it
was.
was like I could hear him saying,
Warm.
I thought I heard him saying, I'm supposed to be retired.
And you went out and you got his boots dirty.
Yeah, I got it. His boots is all dirty.
Dirty.
His boots is dirty, and the cuffs of his pants are dirty too. You see it, and we go out. Anyway, I go up and I strip this thing down, and I find this.
What is that? Pray tell.
This is some kind of a threaded insert that nobody knows where it came from, and this was resting right at the bottom. Well, everything is shaking so bad, right?
That fell from somewhere.
That fell down, and it might have been old repairs done to it before, and this was left up under the engine, and it just gradually shook down, and fell down between the rad and the shroud, and it just...
Sounds like a scene out of Mayday.
Yep. Oh, yeah, well,
Isn't it?
that's stuff like that, stupid stuff like that takes the aircraft down.
Yeah.
And it just started to rub rubber, and then all of a sudden, I went up this morning, I filled it up with water, and I pressure tested, and it was driving water about 15 feet. Nah, about a foot. So anyway,
No exaggeration.
what I did is I removed it and I brought it here, and I said, well, I didn't know you were going to do a video. I could have took a picture, but there's only a little, with the cores that come down in the red, there's one core was actually rubbed through. So what it is, I cleaned it up really good, and I used just some regular liquid flux, and I used acid core solder. Now people will ask me, well, why did he use acid core solder? Acid core is a more aggressive, it has a more aggressive paste in it than regular solder. Rosin core is good for circuit boards and wiring and whatnot. Acid core is good for welding actually, or soldering metals, because of the more aggressive acid or flux that's in the tube. Now, if you look at it, why is it called acid core and resin core? Well, if you looked up, I don't know if you'll be able to focus that close. There's a hole up there. See that there, Liza? Is it focusing?
Not sure.
Well, come out here, maybe to the light. Come out. Come out. Come into the light.
I'm not going into the
Come
light.
into the light, please. I don't know if you'll focus that, but anyway, there's a hole in this solder, okay? And that's full of paste,
Okay.
so that when you're soldering, it automatically makes sure it gets enough of this paste. It helps clean the metal, so this stuff will stick to it. Now, come back over here.
I'm with you so far.
Now, I didn't want to use a torch because where it was at the bottom of the tank, close to the bottom of the tank, I didn't want to melt any other solder, so I could end up with a catastrophe where I'd end up fixing this leak and creating more down the line. So I used a soldering iron,
Ooh, that's a big doozy.
and it is hot, I'm telling you. So you put it on, you preheat it. This has been plugged in now for a while, and I don't want to burn my fingers. So, you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
So you can put it on there and you can... See that?
Yeah.
So, I use the iron on it, and I use some of this flux on it. And so just before you showed up, I brought it out, and I cut up some rubber, and the inlet and outlet has got clamps on it. Make it...
What is that?
Goonie bird.
It sounded like
So I put clamps on it to make it airtight, and I filled it up with water. So we got a pressure tester on it there now. So let's go out and have a look at the pressure tester. Okay, here we go. So there's my pressure tester. This is full of water now. There's my repair. It was just this one core on the end here. That was, and it was like driving. It was peeing out about that far.
amazing, yeah.
And anyway, so it's good there now. And you can see I have a lot of pressure on it. You can feel it. There's a lot of pressure on it there as well. This is just the overflow where I just filled it up with water. And what I got to do now, where I used acid core, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take it and I'm going to clean it up with a solvent in around here, because the acid core can actually cause corrosion. The acid core, or the acid in the solder, can cause corrosion where it's such an aggressive cleansing acid. And then I'm just going to give it a little touch up with a bit of black paint, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to reinstall. Okay? So,
good.
and yeah, that should take care of it. And also, I have another little tech tip, and we can go back in the shop and show people. But just look at Big Old Blue's boots
Yeah.
and his socks. Look.
Look at that. He even got his socks dirty
Look.
too.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah. Oh my.
he's not very fussy about that.
Isn't that happy?
No, he's not happy.
You might not get him. You might not get him to go back.
Come in, I'll show you something. You coming in?
I'm coming in.
Come on. Anyway, when I was with GM, we used to have, like, a lot of the 2.8s and the 3.1 multi-ports used to have head issues, and so did the Sunbirds and whatnot. So GM came out with an additive that you would put in the radiators after you would do these cylinder head gaskets and stuff. And as a matter of fact, at one point in time, they said they will not pay the claim on a warranty procedure unless this stuff is inserted in the rad after you do the repair. And that's what I intend on doing today. And this is the stuff here. I don't know if you want to take a shot of that. Yep. Got it. This here, a lot of the stuff that's on the market now will actually plug the heater cores if you use it aggressively to try to stop a leak. I like to use this pretty well as a preventive measure, you know, in coolant systems. We actually had here years ago a 3.8 multi-port. I pressure tested and the cylinder head gasket was gone so bad that it was peeing all over the floor of coolant.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, so the customer said to me, is there anything I can do with it? Because he said, I really can't afford to do it now. And I put in 2 of those. And I let it set probably for, I'm going to say maybe a half an hour. We filled it up with water. And we pressure tested it. This was in probably June. And when we pressure tested, there was no more leak. So he said, well, maybe what I'll do, he says, I'll trade it now. I said, well, I wouldn't do that. You know, somebody else is going to end up with your problem, but you know how it is. Anyway, he ended up keeping the car. He wore the car out. It had this stuff in it, and he never did replace the cylinder head gasket.
Yep.
This stuff, what makes this stuff so much different than other items or other stop leaks that you see on the market is this is a weak product. So it don't harm the environment, and it don't plug your heater core. So, guys, you know, I even put this stuff in my coffee. No, I don't. I better not say that because somebody's going to be buying this, putting it in their coffee. I don't put it in my coffee.
No, we don't do that.
So that's that. So that's a couple little tricks that you, or little tips you know. For rads, you use acid core. And for insurance policy, I'm going to throw a bit of that. But I know it's not leaking because while you were out, you're saying you're out doing business, but you're probably out purse shopping or something now. Anyway, that's been out there now for probably a half an hour, and it's maintained that pressure for a half an hour. It's a done deal. I'm more than confident. But you know, this thing is so hard to get at when it comes to the radiator. I plan on putting this in, and that way, if something happens somewhere else in the system, this may keep them going for another little while. So that's the reason why I'm using it.
It's not going to hurt anything or do anything.
No, and the other reason why I'm using it is because I got it. I wouldn't purposely go out today looking for this, but you know, if I have it here, I'm going to use it. So we're going to go get our lunch, and the next bit of footage you're going to see, folks, is I'm going to do a dash cam footage of. I probably won't do the whole area where we're driving there because that's like watching paint dry, I would think. Of course, now I've said stuff is boring before and people corrected me on it. So, but anyway, when I get to the area that we're going in, it'll look familiar to a lot of our viewers because they've been there before. But this is in a different area of that area. It'll all make sense. The dash cam don't really record audio really good, so I'm going to try something different this time. I'm going to tape the audio on my iPhone, and I'll add the audio to the video of the dash cam. Boy, that's a mouthful. Say that 5 times.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and we'll try to get you a little bit of a video to watch today, just in case some of you guys are home and you're bored to death. And if you are, I still got leaves to rake up. Come on over.
It's about to get worse.
That's right. Anyway, folks, we'll go get our dinner now, eh?
Ready to go?
Ready to go. Dinner is done and gone. The
Forgot
flux is cleaned up on this, and I just painted over where it's been repaired.
Okay.
It held its pressure all through dinner hour,
Perfect.
so that's good enough for me.
Good for you is good for me.
It's a little bit cooler now, but still a nice day.
It is.
I don't
No
know.
wind, no rain.
I don't know if that thermometer is working. It's 10 degrees Celsius. So that's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's probably people in California or Florida going, "Whoa."
That's right.
And to us, that's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Isn't it something?
Yeah, it depends on where you
Let's say
tune.
we're tough, eh?
Yeah,
Those
true.
California fellers.
Nah.
The Florida fellers, they're not tough. Lots of emails now.
Oh yeah, watch the emails come in.
Yeah. Well, I say, what do you let the females upset?
Yep.
Let alone emails.
Yes,
So I'm going to batter up there now.
Okay.
And from this on, now we'll have some dash cam footage.
Good idea.
Dash cam footage, iPhone footage, and iPhone sound. Boy, I got some editing to do later on.
Oh.
Man, yeah. Oh well, that's it. It is what it is, eh?
Yeah,
So-
but our viewers appreciate you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Okay. Gotta go.
See ya.
Okay, folks. Now we're going to get into the dirty stuff. It's only a few places that's really dirty. blue got a few rattles. That's the plastic in the dash. And the keychain. RV season is over, but I guess these people must leave their trailers here all winter. I gotta try to remember where everything is to here. Yep, we're in the right place. Lock it in four-wheel drive. Now we're going to get dirty. And there's the screener. So I'll take the iPhone over now and show you what that's all about. Okay, let's have a look-see. I'll show you what it's like. Probably seen this before on some of our other videos, but there's a guard there. The fan is removed. It's kind of a bit of a situation to get to work on. I got my little step there that helps. So now I'm going to get the rad and get ready and bring down the tools and start to assemble. Won't show the assembly because I can't do it all here. And when I get it put together, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, I'm going to head back over to the screening plant there now. I got the rad put in, pressure tested, everything's good. But then the customer said, it's starting funny. So I said, what do you mean by starting funny? So then when he went to turn it on, it was dragging on the starter. Let me turn this around if I can and show you. Yeah, so it's all back together and it's working good. No more drip. So what I got to do is, well, I've already done it, to be honest with you. I took the starter off. The starter was over here. And I'll bring that back to the shop and have a little look-see inside. See if I can get the parts to rebuild it. If I can't get the parts to rebuild it, we'll see if somebody in the city can rebuild it. And then we'll hopefully be able to put it back on and be done with this thing. It's a great screening plant. It's got how many hours on it? 1533.6. It's had a rough going over, to be honest with you, but it works well. So it's been hit and beat up, and as you can see, but it still works quite well. Perkins diesel. So I've got a lot of stuff here to pick up, and then I got to get everything dragged over to Old Blue, and then we're going to pack it up and go home. It must be getting close to 4 o'clock here now. It won't be long, it'll be dark. So just thought you guys would enjoy seeing this. Okay, so gonna head back to the shop, folks. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Sorry we couldn't tape more, but hey, hard to do it with just 2 hands. So you guys take care. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great evening. Look after yourselves. God bless. go.